Hey you guys, I'm Fabio Hart coming back with another video. In this video, what I want to talk about is how I handle onboarding or hiring. Okay, so I want to walk you through it systematically, kind of give you a rough draft of how it goes my way. Hopefully this information to help you. So let's jump right into it. So a lot of times people say, well, Fabio, I can't find good people to work for me. Where do you find them? Okay, whether it's 1099s, independent contractors, or whether it's W-2 employees. A lot of times people struggle is just finding people to work for them. So now some of these platforms are you're gonna have to pay, and it's worth it. Again, in my last video, I was telling you how I do everything on the business card, right? Your Visa, your Master, your Amex, your Discover. Use your business credit card. You can write that stuff off, right? So it's gonna pay for itself. Now, let's jump right into it though. So Fabio, what's the process that you use when you're going to hire people? I use Facebook. I start there first because on my Facebook pages, locally, as soon as I make a post, a lot of times people know who I am, they know what I do, right? So, and because the brand that I build locally in my area, a lot of times people, hey, I'm about to work for Fabio, right? They don't mind working for me. So I do have that advantage. So put a post up. So if you got a part-time position, you might say, hey, part-time position on, such and such a county. We're looking for janitors and cleaners, whatever you're at. Say, hey, if you're interested, inbox me right now. Or if you're interested, inbox me your name and number. And then you call them. Okay, that's one way, using Facebook posts. Okay, organic. This is not where you pay yet. Okay. Another thing, usually every area, I know in Michigan, Ohio, we have these different groups where it's like employment opportunity. So you can post a post up there. So what you want to do is write the post, right? Write the post. I would say email it to yourself, text it to yourself, because you can always use that post, right? You can add to it, you can delete it at any given time, adjust the post where it need to be adjusted from time to time. But I would just say keep those posts. I text myself all the time. I do notes in my phone, that type of thing. I might write something out in my phone. So do a free post in a free group, right, in your local area. So if you're in Chicago, Illinois, they might have employment opportunities, jobs in Chicago, right? So you join all of the Chicago groups, right? So boom, you join all of the Chicago employment opportunity groups and job groups and whatever. So you put the same post that you would put, that I just told you to put on your wall, on your main message on Facebook. You just copy and paste and put that same thing in the group. If you're interested, just inbox me directly for more information, because sometimes people are gonna say, how much are you paying? Is it this? Is it that? You got part-time, you got days, you got this, you got that. So you're gonna get a lot of different things on the post. You want to talk to them personally. You want to talk to them, in the inbox. That's kind of like a short interview, so to speak. Talk to them, you get to know them a little bit in the inbox, get their number, and then call them up, right? You can set something up for face-to-face, or you can go to the next phase that I'm gonna talk about shortly. Okay, so those are the first two. I love Facebook, it works for me. A lot of people say, hey, Fabio, I tried the Facebook, it just didn't work for me. Okay, so then that's where you might want to go to Indeed and ZipRecruiter. Those are other platforms that I use. Now, again, you're gonna have to pay money to place on those platforms. Okay, but it's worth it. Again, you're gonna use your business card, you're gonna use business credit. Okay, use business credit. You use your Visa, your Master, whatever the case is. Use your business card to pay for it. Again, you can write it off, right? It's a business expense. So you write the same post. And if you got a post, if you got something, I'm willing to kind of oversee it. I do it all the time for the people that's in my coaching. I'll do it for you guys for free. I won't even charge you to do it. Just say, send me the post. Say, hey, Fabio, what you think about this post? You're going to email it to mastercleanmachine@gmail.com. You email me the post. I'll take a look at it, me personally. I'll take a look at it. I'll tell you, hey, I would change this, or I would say it this way, or I would say it that way, because you want it to be a professional post, right? You don't want it to read, you don't want to come off pushy, you don't want to come off thirsty for people, you don't want to come off desperate, right? So you want to have all the particulars in there. Okay, what you're offering, how much you're paying, is it a 1099 or is it a W-2? You want to have everything in the post, okay? And like I said, if you write the post before you post it to those platforms, let me take a look at it. Okay, I'll tell you what I would suggest. Maybe you might need to add an assessment test to it. I'll say, hey, this is a great post. What I would do, so you can weed out the different people they have on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, they have assessment tests that they can take. So after they fill out for the application, right, it'll automatically redirect them to a page where they can take your assessment test. And this is just a short survey, short test that you can kind of get to know their personality just based on the assessment test that you're having them do. Okay, so that's another way to do it. So that's ZipRecruiter and Indeed. So again, step one, I use Facebook, whether it's just posting on my timeline. I just do a regular post. I also post in groups, right? The object of the game is for them to inbox me, right? Inbox me their name and number, and then I deal with them in the inbox, kind of get warmed up through the inbox. And then after that, what I do, once I'm warmed up in the inbox with, if I'm gonna, hire them or if I'm gonna talk to them further, then I'll place a call to them, okay? And or what I would do is I'll go ahead and I'll say, you know what? I want to do a video call. Now I'm going to go into that in a minute, because again, I want to walk you guys through this process of how I personally go about, even from my old company to my new company. These are things that I do that work for me that might be able to work for you, okay? So again, Facebook organic posts, right? You're going to do the Facebook, post it on your timeline, and then you're going to post it in groups. It could be the same piece. Then you're going to write a more professional piece for ZipRecruiter or Indeed. You can also model people that's in your industry. You don't want to steal somebody's post completely, but if you say, you know what, I'm in the cleaning business, I want to see what other cleaning business are saying, you can kind of model, give you a format or give you a formula to kind of go by. You don't want to kind of really steal somebody's post, because what they have might not apply to you, right? What they're offering might not apply to you. So, but it gives you a format to go by, okay? So that's another thing that you guys could do. Okay, so this is the step-by-step. So boom, they fill out the application, then what? Or they send in the resume, then what? So once my team look at the resume, once we look at the application, we have set up a phone interview or a video interview, and it varies person to person. Now the video interview that we do normally happens through Google Meets, IMO, any video platform that we use that we feel comfortable with using. We'll set up, or Zoom, we'll set up a video call, right? So this is where they're just on a video call with me, right? I already have a list of things that I'm looking for. So it's a short interview. So your name is Sherry Blossom. Yep, okay, great. Okay, Sherry, I see that you have 3 years of experience in janitorial work. What was the last company you worked for? Okay, ABC Janitorial. Okay. How long you work for them? Okay, 3 years. Okay, great. What did you like about working for that company? Oh, you like, okay, this and this. What didn't you like about working with that company? Okay, so this is me taking notes. I'm just kind of giving you guys a rough draft, right? I want to get in the psyche. I want to understand, well, what made you apply for our company? Oh, I just needed a job and this and this and this. Okay. Are you looking for short-term or long-term work? Are you looking more like part-time, or are you looking to get established and be more long-term? Oh, I'm looking for long-term. Okay, great. What hours could you work? Oh, this and this. Now, they might have said this on, let's say, the Indeed post when they fill out the application, right? They might even put the hours and all of this. But you want to reiterate that, right? You want to see what you printed off, what you have in front of you, right? Whether it's the resume or the application, you want to make sure it match, right? Okay. You say, well, how far are you willing to travel? 15 miles from your home. Okay, great, no problem, right? What type of sites have you worked before, right? These are questions that I ask them. What type of sites? Oh, plants. Okay, what's the name of them? You remember the name of them by any chance? Yeah, I worked at such and such, and that was through ABC Janitorial. Yes, that was ABC Janitorial. Okay, great, not a problem, right? So I'm taking these notes, number one, because I'm a serial entrepreneur when it comes down to them. I'm probably going to have my people solicit those those clients. So thank you for giving me those clients, those potential clients' name that you worked for before, because I'm probably going to send my people and have them looking to go in after those clients. Okay, so that's what I do damn near every interview that I have or have my people do. We ask that question. Okay, so that's another technique you guys might want to use. So again, so you want to do your post. You want to do your post. You want to go through the applications. You want to go through the resumes. That's whether it's on Facebook, or Indeed, or ZipRecruiter. Okay. Again, use those. A lot of people say, "Well, Fabi, I use those. It hasn't worked for me." Maybe it's something you said in the post. You gotta realize you're up against other companies like yours in your area that might be paying a little bit more. So you have to be a little bit creative in your posts with the incentives, right? Because if I see your post and it says that you're only going to pay me $15 an hour, and I see another post that says it's going to pay me $18.90 an hour, and it's only Monday through Friday with weekends off, well, yours didn't say what I had off. You didn't have that in the post, right? You didn't specify. So the $18.90 an hour sounded a little bit more attractive to me than the $15, because at least I get the weekends off. They specify that. Right? So again, that's what I say. If you write a post and you guys are not sure, if you want to model a post, again, in your area, see what your competition is putting up there. Do not steal it, right? Because it's just not going to look good. Everybody's going to know you stole that from the competition, right? But it gives you a framework. It gives you something that you can model, okay? And that's what you would need. Now, once again, if you write a post, you can send it over to me at mastercleanmachine@gmail.com. I'll be more than willing to take a look at it. I'll tell you what I think, what you should add, probably what you should take out, how you should say it, all of that good stuff, okay? So boom, you do that. You collect the resumes, you collect the applications. You do your Google Meets, okay? You do your IMOs, you do your Zooms, okay? These are the video calls, or you do just your regular phone call, okay? The next thing is the meetup. Okay, so sometimes people say, well, Bobby, I don't have an office. I'm not sure where I should meet them. Starbucks, Tim Hortons, a library. You know, sometimes like in my area, you can go to the library. You can say, hey, you know, I'm a, you know, local business. We want to host, you know, maybe a job opportunity workshop here, or we want to host. Is it okay if we host interviews here, maybe in your quiet room or in one of the little rooms that they have? And it's perfectly fine. You reserve it for a day or for a significant amount of time or hours or whatever the case, totally free. And you let them know. So you book your appointments based on that. I'm giving you guys just something to go off of. For those that say, I don't have an office, I don't want them to come to my house, I don't want to, right? So you can do Starbucks, you can Tim Hortons, you can do like any little coffee shop or little dine-in place, maybe a nice little diner or something. You can do lunch or breakfast together. It don't have to be that expensive though, but so you can go to the library, right? You can set it up with your library. Generally speaking, libraries are pretty good with that. I don't know about you guys' area, but that's something that you can try, okay? Another thing is that if you hire for a specific site, you can actually do the interview at the actual site, okay? A lot of times that's fine. So you'd say, hey, meet me at ABC Warehouse on 123 Oak Street, right? That's where we're holding the interviews at. And you set it up with, your contact person at ABC Warehouse on 123 Oak Street. Say, hey, is it okay if we do interviews here at the facility? If you're already working for them and you've been working for them, they're perfectly fine with that a lot of times. You just want to get permission though, okay? So again, guys, these are the things that I've done before. Like I say, right now I have systems in place, so it's a little bit different for me now. I don't personally do the interviews anymore, but if I was to do the interviews, that's how I would go about to do it. So again, start with Facebook or your social medias, right? You put the same post up across all social medias. That's what I would probably suggest, right? And then you get a little bit more different when you do the Facebook groups, or you can kind of play with it in the Facebook groups, right? You want to try to get an influx of traffic organically, right? Before you even do Indeed, before you even do a ZipRecruiter. Then you do the ZipRecruiter, Indeed, whatever the case is. Sorry this video is so long, guys, but I want to be specific here. to give you guys an idea how I go about to do it, what worked for me, right? This video could be an hour long if I really so I'm kind of giving you a short version of it, but that's where you will want to start. Start with Facebook, put a post on your timeline, put a post up in the opportunity groups, then write a post over at ZipRecruiter for ZipRecruiter. Be very detailed, take your time, don't rush, right? ZipRecruiter, Indeed, those are my two favorites, okay? Then when you get an influx, you go over all of the resumes, you go over all of the applications. Don't call every single person if you don't like their, I'm sorry guys, don't call every single person if you don't like their resume or if you don't like their application, okay? Because you're steady gonna have an influx of applications come in. You always wanna be hiring, right? So boom, the applications come in, you go through it, you're looking at 15 applications. Today you might only call 2 people, 3 people, right? Hire on a as needed basis, like I said in my previous video. So just because you got 15 applications, don't be so pressed to say, I'm gonna hire 4 people, right? Because if you don't have the work, they're gonna be like, why you hire me? You don't even have the work, right? So if you put these posts up, you put these in, you get an influx of apps, just file the apps and then hire it as needed. Get you a little folder, a little binder, however you file your applications, and then as you need it, just go back to that folder and say, okay, I'm gonna call Jill. Jill, she's from our last post. Mind you, you're still gonna have those posts up on Indeed and ZipRecruiter and Facebook, right? So if you're gonna do Facebook, do it every other day. Now hiring, same post, same ad. You can change it depending on the location, depending on what type of account it is, so forth and so forth. You can make your specific changes within that post depending on what type of account that is, right? But for the most part, you want to stay advertising for new hires, right? You always want to be hiring, okay? So this is the process that we use. So again, we post it on Facebook, step 1. We do ZipRecruiter, Indeed, step 2. We do either phone interview or video interviews, step 3. Sorry. And then you do your meetup, step 4, right? Only do the meetups if you feel like, based on the phone interview or the video interview, that this person could be a viable valuable worker for you, right? So if you don't feel too thrilled about them based on the application, you don't feel too thrilled about them based on the resume, then just still hold on to it, but don't reach out to them, right? Reach out to the ones you feel confident that this person could be a great asset to your staff and to your team, okay? That's gonna wrap it up for now. Sorry I went so long, guys, but I wanted to be very detailed about the hiring process, how I go after it, how I make it make sense for me, how I try to do it for the least amount of money, right? But I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.